So we're up to the final issue of Danger Street. This is issue number 12, or I guess book 12. And this is the regular cover, and it's kind of cool. I like this cover. It's got all the different characters, all the different players laid out. So again, I don't avoid spoilers, so if you don't want it spoiled, don't watch. So with the last issue, Lady Cop had kind of messed up. She killed the Creeper. She killed Warlord, and Good Looks was already dead. So they were trying to use the Helm of Naboo to undo everything, bring everyone back to life, or I guess at that point just Good Looks, until she killed two more. And although she was perhaps a little dubious about whether the Helm could actually do it, she decided, well, what the heck? I got nothing to lose. So when we left off, she had used the Helm of Naboo, and so in this issue, we get kind of the aftermath of it. And the first thing we find out is that Metamorpho's arm, his diamond arm, is now sentient and making its way back to Metamorpho. And then we have one of the outsiders, the Freaks, and you can notice that her arm is back to normal. And all of the outsiders have been reverted back to themselves. So they are super excited. The Commodore, well, okay, not Commodore yet. Warlord is back alive. Creeper is back alive. Good Looks is back alive. And Good Looks looks fine. But oh shoot, I can't think of his name. The son of Darkseid, Orion. He says we still got a problem because the universe is about to end because nobody is holding up the sky. And what he tells her is that Atlas's soul went into Good Looks, and now Good Looks has to Good Looks of the Danger Street, the Dingbats of Danger Street, now has to hold up the sky. And she's just like, oh dear Lord. We can't bring this guy back from the dead and then tell him he has to spend eternity holding up the heavens or holding up the sky. And Orion says, you don't understand. If he doesn't do it, everything comes to an end. And so the Dingbats are just kind of, reveling in the fact that they now are all together again. And they literally brought Good Looks back from the dead. The Commodore is now free because the one outsider, the woman, her arms are no longer able to entangle him. And so he's like, I'm out of here. I had really, really expected that he was going to get killed in the last issue. But we'll see what happens. Orion, having no success with Lady Cop, goes up to Creeper and says, we need to do something and fast. Meanwhile, the Helm of Naboo seems to look like it's dead. It's now just kind of stone looking. Lots more happens, but I'm kind of blowing through it. And he's trying to convince Creeper to help out. Commodore goes to the only other member, and I don't remember his name, the only other member of the Green Team that is still alive, and he tells him how the Green Team, the FBI or whatever, have seized all of their money, or the government has seized all their money. I says, I can't call our lawyers. We have no money to pay them. Our stock is in the toilet, and so are we. And he's like, oh, that's no problem for me, because when you tried to kill me, I lost everything already, so doesn't harm me. And by the way, I'm the one that told the cops. So Commodore is not happy. Because he knows that he's ruined. And he is. Metamorpho's arm finally makes it back to him, and he puts it back on. And now he's whole again. And so now they're talking about the fact that Good Looks has to go and hold up the sky, and they're not happy. They're like, wait a second, we did all this work to bring him back, and you're going to take him away from us? But there's really no choice in it. And so I guess they're going to use the power of Starman and this mother box to send them wherever they need to go to hold up the sky. And they decide they're going to do it. They're going to be the superheroes in this story, and save the day. And so I think one of them says, what are we going to do? Bring a PS5 and something else will we sit there forever holding up the sky? And they do it. They send them, and they do have, books and like a CRT TV and different things. And so wherever they're going, the Dingbats, particularly Good Looks, are going to hold up the sky and save the universe. And I'm not sure why she does this. She suddenly decides she's going to arrest everyone else. And then she takes the Helm of Naboo out to the desert and tries to talk to it and threatens it. And the Helm of Naboo just sits there. So suddenly some fellow comes walking up, and he is a Lord of Chaos. Although he seems really cool. He doesn't seem bad. I think at DC, Fate is the Lord of Order, God of Order, whatever. So the opposite of Chaos. But I think in DC they consider that Chaos and Order are simply two sides of a coin. It's not necessarily that one's good and one's evil. It's just they're different. And so she, again, pulls her gun out. She does that quite often. And he says, Lady Cop, come on, I'm a god. And she says, wouldn't be my first. And then I did kind of like this. He says, new gods, that hardly counts. Those guys keep asking me out for lunch, and I'm just no. So he's kind of mocking the new gods, including Orion. And then he clearly knows her past. He says, a lady under a bed, a crack in the ground, an arm, some grapes, two guys with swords, chaos, order, fate, chance. So he knows about her past because he's a god. And then we simply finish up here. It took me 2 readings to figure out what happens. So she's there, and it says, we wanted to go out to the dunes. And so this group of 4 come up, and it really harkens back to the first issue. We've come full circle. And I was like, well, who are these? These are just 4 new kids who are the new Dingbats. But these are the outsiders now as normal people. And so, again, it really has come full circle. And I think that was a very good way of ending. And then we just kind of get a little bit of closure here. The Commodore is clearly now in prison. There's Jack Ryder, and there's the Dingbats, the originals. I guess they're playing the PS5 in whatever realm they're at. And everything has gone back to normal, except the poor Dingbats are now forever locked in this realm, although they look pretty happy. So this is... I really enjoyed this series. I enjoyed it tremendously. And there's not been one of the Tom King Maxi series that I have not enjoyed. And they have pretty much come one after another. In fact, this one and The Human Target were overlapping for about 3 or 4 months. But there's nothing scheduled right now for Tom King. Tom King is working on the Penguin. I believe he's also writing Wonder Woman. I think that he's also working on the DCEU, and he's also been doing stuff for other publishers. So he's stretched kind of thin, and I don't know how well these are selling. I used to be able to track sales, but I can't do it anymore. They just don't have that information available like they used to. So there were not a lot of reviews for this, and so my guess is that it did not sell tremendously, which is not surprising given that who the characters are. I just like to read Tom King, so it doesn't really matter who he's using. I just like his stories, but I can see people, they want their Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, whatever, and none of them are in there. These are all C, D level characters. But I really recommend this. Unfortunately, DC seems to have stopped. When they did the Miracle Man, it was a deluxe edition. Then they went. I'm sorry, it was a deluxe edition, and then they went down to just hardcover. Then they went down to, we'll do hardcover, but we'll split it in volumes, and then they just went down to, all right, we're just doing paperback. And I'm not doing that. I want if I can't get a deluxe edition, I'll be okay with just a hardbound collection, but I'm not going to just get paperback. So if they never come out with a hardbound, then I'll just own them on comics, which is a shame because I like to read them in a hardbound edition and just put these for collectibles. Anyway, I really enjoyed this series. I highly recommend it. If you want to read it but you don't want to collect the comics, like I said, they are coming out with paperback. They already have a volume 1 paperback, and we'll be releasing a volume 2. So this series gets very high marks from me. Very enjoyable.